What's up, Geeks and Gamers? It's Jeremy, and I'm back because I had so much fun talking to you earlier. I figured, why not? Let's do it again. So, whatever you guys want to talk about, let's talk about it. It doesn't have to be Star Wars related. It can be video games. It can be Marvel, DC, sports. I know a lot of you don't like sports, but just really whatever you want to talk about. I'm game. So, as soon as I can pull up my comments here, I will. And let me turn down my volume on my other phone. And let's see what we got going on here. Let's Watch says, I'm early. You are early. You're the very first comment. Congratulations. Jake Massey, what's up? Thank you very much for the compliment. Axe012, hey Geekdom. What's up, Axe? Guys, got any questions for me? Let her rip. So, have I seen the trailer for the new Robin Hood movie? No, I have not. When did that release? Nick, when did that release? What's up, Revan? What's up, Eric? What's up, Chipper? Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys joining in. Let's see. Yeah, Nick, I would like a little context on that with this new Robin Hood trailer. I have not heard about this. And does it look good? So, all right, let's see. John said, did you get your live stream of Horizon fixed? Well, yeah, I mean, basically, I let them have an earful about my data being throttled. Not going to really make a whole big difference. They're the top dog right now, so they're not scared of losing anybody. But I did let them know it's very frustrating, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done that. So, let's see. Patrick Mullins, love your content. Keep up the honesty, and hello from Ireland. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate that. David McKay, I have not seen the Luke Cage trailer, but I want to. As far as Luke Cage goes, I loved the first half of Season 1 of Luke Cage, and then something happens in that series that kind of derails that entire season for me, but the first half of Luke Cage was badass. Loved it. Let's see. Watching from New Zealand. That is awesome, Matthew. All the way from New Zealand. That's crazy. What do I think about the Lord of the Rings and Peter Jackson? So, I'm objectively think that the Lord of the Rings trilogy is the single greatest movies ever made. Just from a quality standpoint. They're not my favorites. But what Peter Jackson was able to accomplish with the Lord of the Rings, it's just unbelievable. And I think Return of the King is just, it's so well made. And you may not find it entertaining, and I don't find those movies necessarily entertaining, but I find them incredibly well made. And I'm in awe of what Peter Jackson was able to accomplish with those films. The soundtrack is amazing. Gandalf is one of my favorite characters in movie history. Love The Lord of the Rings. But again, not my favorite, but just, you know, kind of up there. Let's watch. Did you see my question? Let's see, I'm looking. Okay, a lot of people say Infinity War is the Empire Strikes Back of Marvel. Do I believe that? I absolutely believe that. I absolutely do. I've seen Infinity War twice now. I can't wait to go see it again. The second time, it hit me even harder. What just a phenomenal accomplishment from Marvel, Kevin Feige. Just amazing stuff. So totally love it. What do I think of the new DC lineup, especially Swamp Thing by James Wan? I love James Wan, and so I'm looking forward to anything that he puts his name on, and so I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Aquaman, Wonder Woman 2, and then there's just so much with the DC universe that's so uncertain moving forward. It's going to be interesting to watch it play out. There's Henry Cavill's made statements. I guess at one point he said he wasn't sure if he was coming back as Superman. Then they kind of alluded that he would. So I'll be, you know, I'm interested to see what happens with it. But I'm cautiously optimistic. So let's see. Thoughts on Incredibles 2. I did a reaction to the Incredibles 2 trailer, and it looks pretty good to me. I love The Incredibles. I love the first Incredibles. I don't have The Incredibles as high up on my Pixar list as a lot of people, but I do love The Incredibles. And so I'm looking forward to Incredibles 2. I know some people said it's taking like an SJW turn, and I don't necessarily believe that. I believe it's a natural progression of the story. And so when it's taking that SJW nonsense, I'm going to call it out. But I'm not just going to call it out just to call it out. So from what I've seen with The Incredibles, it looks like a natural progression of the story, and I'm very excited for it. So let's see. Do I think Jon Favreau will make adult Star Wars TV show? I don't know where the report came from, but I can't remember if it was Mike Zero. And I know Mike Zero, a lot of times he doesn't source anybody, but didn't something come out about Kathleen Kennedy's going to be involved with the new television series? So I don't know if that's true. If Kathleen Kennedy's going to be directly involved, I have little to no hope for it. But I do love Jon Favreau. I think he's fantastic. So if Kathleen Kennedy's involved, I don't think it's going to be any adult themes at all. So Nick Stewart, can we expect a Rose Tico cosplay in the future? I'm going to leave that one for Ethan Van Sciver. I'm sure Ethan's going to pull off a Rose Tico cosplay in the near future. I would never intrude on his intellectual property, and right now he owns all rights to Rose Tico. He spent enough money, enough time, and a lot of people say like my channel grew just because of The Last Jedi. Well, Ethan's grew specifically because of Rose Tico. So oh man, my favorite Clone Wars episodes are the end of season 5 and the Mortis arc. I love the Mortis arc. I love the Yoda episode with the clones. I think that's the very first episode. And then the final episode with Yoda in the Lost episodes, which is classified as season 6, I guess. But my single favorite is the Ahsoka arc, the final, 5 episodes of season 5, something like that. And then the very final one, I love it. I love it so much. All right, let's see. Want a live action Atlantis? Oh, I love Atlantis. I love Atlantis, The Lost Empire. I think those are some great films, and they never get talked about. So the fact that you mentioned that is actually pretty cool. So, yeah, I dig that. Let's see. So I'm gonna. All right, Edius Lee, you asked a question. I'm not going to directly address the question by word because it's a spoiler for Infinity War. But I will say that it's over 50%, and I hope to hell I'm right because that's one of my favorite characters in the entire MCU. All right, let's see. What do I think of the ending to Infinity War in 2 words? This is going to be kind of cliche, but mind blown. I mean, I was sitting there in awe of what I was witnessing. I couldn't believe they actually followed through and just stayed true to that. Mind blown. Let's see here. I'm trying to go back. There's so many comments. It's so hard to read through them all. Yes, I am going to watch Cobra Kai. Everybody is telling me about it. I've received so many emails, so many tweets. So I'm definitely going to watch Cobra Kai. Let's see. Robert Wolf, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Let's see. Watching you from a plane over the Atlantic on my way home to Peru. Keep it up, Jeremy. That is awesome. That's effing cool, man. I appreciate that. Man, that is great. SJW Droid and Solo. Yes, I made a video on that too. A droid that cares about droids' rights. Yeah, that's where we're at with Star Wars now. Isn't that wonderful? Man, unbelievable. When's the next Mario? I don't know what you're asking. We were gonna play Mario Kart 8 tonight, and we probably still will, but some of my team is a little tied up right now, so I decided I was just gonna go live with another Q&A. Because I had so much fun earlier. So I don't know if we're going to do Mario Kart tonight. We may have to change this day around because a lot of my team at Geeks and Gamers, they watch Monday Night Raw, and we do have a professional wrestling group on Facebook that some of my team runs, so they really have to monitor all of that. So we may have to change Mario Kart Mondays to maybe Mario Kart Tuesdays because it's just not working out logistically for my team. Let's see here. I care about desktop computer rights. Let's see. Yo, hello, Jeremy. Good to see you live, bro. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Somebody said good question, Sterling. Let's see. I'm looking for Sterling's question. Let's see. What's my thoughts on the upcoming Spider-Man games? Spider-Man for PS4 looks incredible. I can't wait for that. Superhero games have been hit or miss. Obviously, the Arkham games. My personal favorite of the Arkham games was the very first Arkham game, Arkham Asylum, because it was kind of small and contained. But they were all good. But yeah, Spider-Man PS4. Spider-Man 4 PS4 looks incredible. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay. So Sterling asked, what can save Star Wars? I mean, it's a cliche answer at this point, and I think most of you already know what I'm going to say, but Kathleen Kennedy has to go. And that's not going to be the only thing, because Kathleen Kennedy has created a bad culture at Star Wars. So just getting rid of her right now, yes, that's obviously cut the head off the snake, but she's created such a bad culture right now that it's going to take getting rid of her and shaking up the foundation. And I'm not sure if that's going to take a long time, I think. And that's why it's so important that Solo is the battleground here, because she's got to be stopped. She's already poisoned the entire culture at Lucasfilm, and it's not isolated to her, because we hear Rian Johnson's comments. We hear how they treat people on social media. We hear how the executives speak about how they're more worried about racial and gender quotas to be met in Hollywood, more so than just telling a good story. So the culture is broken. So we need a culture change first and foremost, and that's going to start with getting rid of her. All right, let's see. I'm looking. Smash Switch characters you want? Man, that's a good question. I mean, we've gotten so many great Smash characters over the years. You know, we've seen Mega Man, and I love playing as Sonic. I specifically only use Link when I play Smash Bros. So I'm not really diverse when I play Smash Bros. I kind of stick to my character. But you know, I always thought it would be cool to see Kratos. I know we got. I would love to see Kratos in the game. I know that's never going to happen. But I went ahead and I bought PlayStation Battle Royale All Stars, because I've always wanted to see Kratos in a Smash Bros. Game, just because it would be so weird. And Battle Royale All Stars, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name of it, was a terrible game. I mean, it was so bland and boring. It was such a pathetic attempt to rip off the Smash Bros. Franchise, and so. But yeah, how awesome would it be to see Kratos come into Smash Bros. And just be badass Kratos? I would love it. So, let's see. I'm going to back up here and say, what would I say if Rian Johnson was with me? I would ask him if he's ever seen a Star Wars movie, because I seriously question if he has or not. Because if he thinks that The Last Jedi honored Luke Skywalker, and even honored The Force Awakens for that matter, much less the original trilogy, then I have to question if he's even seen a Star Wars movie. I mean, I've always said that I've never claimed to be an expert on Star Wars. I'm a fan, I love it, and so, but I've never claimed to be an expert. But Rian Johnson presents himself as that he's the end-all be-all expert of Star Wars. That's how he wants to present himself. So I'm just curious if he's ever seen a Star Wars movie. Favorite Marvel character? My favorite Marvel character is Captain America. I also shout out to Moon Knight. Moon Knight needs to get some live action love. Moon Knight is just a cool ass character, and there's been rumors about a Moon Knight series for years. I don't even know who has Moon Knight's rights. I don't know if Disney has the Moon Knight rights, or if that's under Fox or Sony. I have no idea who has the rights to Moon Knight. But I would love to see that happen. And so let's see. What would you think of a Telltale type game for Star Wars world type game? You know, I've played a few of the Telltale games. I played the Batman Telltale game, you know, I mean, the Telltale series is really good. I haven't invested in many of the games, but from the little bit of experience I've had with them, I've enjoyed them. But if there was a Telltale Star Wars game, I would totally jump on board, totally, in a heartbeat. Brad Evans, yes, would love to see a Moon Knight on Netflix. So would I, man. So would I. I would freak out. Let's see, hang on. How many? I don't play Fortnite. I've tried it a few times. I'm not very good at it. I just stick to Battlefront and Mario Kart and Splatoon and those games. I've tried Fortnite and just I'm just not that good at it. Maybe it's just a lack of trying. I just haven't had enough time to invest in it. So I got the hell beat out of me the few times I played it. So let's see. Would I like to see episode 7 recut, re-released? I wouldn't actually. As I've told many of you, I'm actually a fan of episode 7. What my frustration is from the fact that nothing in episode 8 honored episode 7. And, you know, looking back on it now, I have more problems with episode 7 than I previously did. For instance, the moment with Han and Kylo, when Kylo killed Han. Obviously, I didn't want to see Han die, but he did. So I had faith in JJ. I had faith in the storytellers that they had a plan. And the reason that we needed to kill Han Solo was because we needed to take Kylo where he needed to go to flush him out within the rest of the trilogy. And obviously that wasn't the case. They had no plan. And it's very frustrating. And so I just get frustrated the more and more I think about it. I was talking to Ivan Ortega, who I said earlier, I brought Ivan onto our team, so you're going to be seeing more of him on the Geeks and Gamers channel. But I was talking to Ivan about Kylo Ren, and I loved Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens. I absolutely loved him. But looking back on it now and how I didn't like how Kylo took his mask off in The Force Awakens. But again, it was one of those things where I'm like, I have faith that they're going to do the right thing and move forward. Now looking back on it and after The Last Jedi, what I would have loved to see, I would have loved to have seen when Kylo gets hit across the face by Rey with the lightsaber and it splashes his face when he doesn't have a mask on. I would have loved to have seen them never let us see Kylo's face again and leave the audience in mystery to go, whoa, what did she do to his face? And then the next time we see Kylo in episode 8, he has his mask on. And they allude to the fact that his face has been destroyed and it's gruesome and he's ashamed. But we as the audience members, we're going to be curious, going, wait a minute. What does he look like under the mask now? Almost like we did with Vader in the original trilogy, where you're constantly like, what does this guy look like? So there was some mystery involved. So while you ruined it when you took his mask off initially, when you had that moment with Rey, you could have executed that to make the audience a lot more curious and go, what does he look like now? How disfigured is he? But instead, we just basically have Twilight and all of this Reylo garbage that's going on, and it's very disappointing. So, all right, let's see here. Kylo will be wearing diapers in episode 9. Oh, man. All right, let me go back and see. Let's see. Are you talking about XR Bane? Are you talking about the Star Wars racer on talking about the one on N64? Because yeah, I've played that one. It's been a long time. Yeah, 7 is no longer watchable after 8, and I refuse to. I haven't watched it, and it's not because I've actively chose to not watch it. I just don't have any desire to watch 7 anymore. And it's crazy because of how much I loved episode 7, watching it multiple times in theaters, and how excited I was after the fact. It was really disappointing. So, let's see. All right, these comments are coming in so fast. So let me see if I can. Yeah, the Pod Racer was a good game. I really enjoyed that one. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't like when Kylo took off. I didn't like that he took his mask off. It bothered me. But like I said, there was an opportunity there to still create the mystery and the element behind it, and they failed to do that. And so we are where we are, and it's very frustrating. Jeremy, will you change your mind if Solo and Episode 9 are really good? No. Well, Episode 9, I haven't made a decision on Episode 9, but as far as Solo, it can have a 98% Rotten Tomatoes score from the critics and a 92% from fans. That's not really the point. Nothing that happens in Solo is going to fundamentally change the Star Wars universe. And from everything I've seen from Solo, all I'm seeing is agenda-driven nonsense. And so, with this movie, the bigger picture is just to send a message that we're sick and tired of Lucasfilm and their behavior towards the fans. So it being good is irrelevant to me. I'm already prepared for it to be somewhat good because I think Ron Howard's a really good director, and so I'm anticipating it to be potentially good. So let's see here. What's my all-time favorite film? I answered this on the live stream earlier, but my all-time favorite film is Interstellar from the great Christopher Nolan. And I said, like I said earlier on the live stream, I understand if some people don't like that movie. I think it's brilliant, but there's a deeper meaning to it for me. I have a daughter, and so it connects to me on the father-daughter level. And so, you know, my daughter reminds me a lot of Murph in that film. And so, but well beyond that is the amazing storytelling that Christopher Nolan is capable of, the amazing writing, and all of the fact that there's very little CG in that movie. It's ridiculous. I love it so much, and it's so deep, it's so complex. There's so many moving parts, and the performances are great. Matthew McConaughey was so amazing. So that is my favorite movie of all time. So, is my daughter a Star Wars fan? She's somewhat. I mean, she's not like hardcore because she's 12, so she's into all the things like 12-year-old. Well, she's 12 going on like 18. But she's big into like this BTS band, this Asian or whoever they are, boy band. I'm not sure. I don't know much about them. She's big time into them. But she likes Star Wars. She actually told me The Last Jedi was bad before I could realize it was bad because I was fanboying. And after the movie, she's like, Dad, that movie was not good. And I was like, what? No, I liked it. She goes, no, it wasn't good. And then after I started thinking about it, and then I was like, yeah, this movie sucks. I don't know what I was thinking. What's my opinions on what's my thoughts on The Dark Knight? The Dark Knight is the greatest superhero film, and it's not even close. I worship The Dark Knight. Worship it. And I guess it is close in terms of I think Batman Begins is close, but Dark Knight just it's so iconic. And my biggest problem with The Dark Knight is people. Because I always hear people say, if it wasn't for the Joker, that movie wouldn't be great. No, you're wrong. Look at that movie, okay? The Joker is in the movie for about 30 minutes. The movie is 2.5 hours long. Christopher Nolan's direction and his storytelling ability makes you feel the Joker's presence throughout that movie. Now, Heath Ledger's performance is the single greatest performance I've ever seen in any film. I'm not denying that. But it's complemented by Nolan's ability to tell stories. And you feel the Joker's presence even when he's not on screen, and that is a testament to Christopher Nolan. So, but yeah, The Dark Knight is just, it's the king. It's the king. So, let's see here. Yes, it was filmed in Chicago, and it is so great. So, I just love The Dark Knight. I think I've seen The Dark Knight more than any film ever. I saw The Dark Knight 10 times in theaters, and I've probably seen it another, maybe, I don't know, 75 times on Blu-ray, DVD. I love that movie. It's in my top 5 of all time. So, Logan's great. I think Logan's fantastic, but I don't put it quite there on a Dark Knight level. I personally don't have Logan in my top 5 comic book films. But I respect the fact that a lot of people do have it number 1 on their list. But The Dark Knight, to me, is untouchable. Another comic book film that is still great to this day is Spider-Man 2. And not Garfield's Spider-Man 2, Tobey's Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is so great. Let's see here. Infinity War made $1 billion. We can spoil it here. Let's see. Looking through. My favorite X-Men movie is either Logan or Days of Future Past. It's a toss-up between both of them. That's a tough call, actually. I'm not sure. I think I like Days of Future Past more, and I still love the first X-Men and 1 and 2. I love X-Men 1 and 2. So I'm a big fan of both those. And we actually have an X-Men top 5 staff Geeks and Gamers staff top 5 coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that here on the YouTube channel. Let's see. Let's see. Flame. I'm not gonna mention your name, but hey, Jeremy, could you do me a favor and stop being a cuck? Thanks for that in advance. Well, I mean, I said I was gonna stop cussing, so I'm just gonna leave you be. I'm gonna leave you be because you probably sit when you pee, so I'm just gonna leave you alone. All right. Let's see here. Trying to. New Spyro trilogy thoughts. You know, I haven't played Spyro in a damn long time, and I have not. We have. I think we're doing some stuff on geeksandgamers.com with Spyro, but I'm kind of out of the loop on anything new Spyro. I mean, it's been a long time since I've played any Spyro or talked about Spyro, so I'm gonna have to plead ignorance on that. So let's see. Am I going to do any more collaborations with EVS? Potentially. I didn't know Ethan was going to be in Orlando, and then I found out he was going to be in Orlando. I needed to go to Orlando anyway, and so, yeah, so we just made it happen, and I had a blast doing that. So, let's see. Snoke is a clone? I don't think so. Thanos versus Rey. Oh, I mean, Rey's gonna kill Thanos. Like, Thanos is no match for Rey. I mean, Rey, she can just snap her fingers and she can take care of Thanos. So, let's see. Yeah, I am in my 30s, but I'm in my late 30s. So I'm getting old. Social Security's kicking in. Everybody thinks I'm like 25, and I'm not. I wish I was, but I'm not anymore. I am no spring chicken anymore. That's a line from Interstellar. So, not a spring chicken. But I'm not quite as old as Coop was at the end of Interstellar. So, let's see. Have I seen the new episode 9 leaks? Yes, I have. I did a video on that. And it's very disappointing. Very disappointing. I mean, it's just massively disappointing. So, let's see. Darth Maul versus Kylo. Darth Maul would destroy him, so that's not even close. And I love Kylo. Like I say, I love Kylo. I like Kylo. I used to love him after The Force Awakens, and I don't think he was terrible in The Last Jedi, but he was disappointing. So it's just, man, So, all right, let's see. Man, you got some of these comments that YouTube is flagging are hilarious. I actually want to show them, but man, you guys are brutal. What you're saying about Kathleen Kennedy, it's hilarious. But I'm not going to approve those because I'm not trying to get YouTube to get. I've already been in hot water with YouTube once when I made a choice video with people counted. I think I dropped 47 or either 57 F-bombs in that video that got restricted. And then I decided to take it down because man, I didn't know. That's the first time I've ever been age restricted on YouTube, and I was worried. I was concerned. I'm like, I don't think this is not a good idea. So I probably should take this video down. Yeah, the SJW droid. Any more comments on it? I mean, like I said, I made a video about that earlier, and it's incredibly it's almost laughable at this point. I'm almost treating the current Star Wars sequel trilogy or anything associated with it under this brand, under this leadership, as just pure comedy. They're not even being subtle about their agenda anymore. They're just coming straight out, and they're not even trying to be subtle. It's unbelievable. I can't believe that we've fallen so far, and I can't believe I've fallen so far as a Star Wars fan, because I have fallen very far. I mean, if you actually go back and if you go back and just look at my enthusiasm after The Force Awakens to where I am now, it's a far, far fall. My favorite MCU villain, I mean, it's at this point. Okay, so let's without Thanos, let's not include Thanos, because Thanos he's the GOAT of MCU villains, and that's just not debatable at this point. probably Kilgrave. And I didn't really like Jessica Jones season 1, but Kilgrave was awesome. So awesome. Loved him. So, MZ Vera or Verena 1, thank you for the super chat. I'm 67, took my daughter to first Star Wars. That is awesome. Appreciate that. And I really do appreciate the super chat. Let's see here. I'm trying to go back through some of these comments because I'm missing them. I think you guys are just dropping comments just to see if you can get flagged now. I'm not going to talk about all the episode 9 leaks because the person that leaked, you can go to my video and check out my thoughts on it, but I don't want to talk about it here on a live stream because some people may not want to know. I can tell you that if these leaks are true, that this movie's not going to be good. But I did make a video on it a few days ago, and but you can check out my thoughts there. But I just don't want to. I want to respect anybody who may not want to know any of the details, because the guy that leaked it on Reddit actually he leaked info on episode 8, and he linked back to that, and he was about like 50-60% right on a lot of things. He even mentioned that Kylo was going to kill Snoke, and he was right. And so I'm thinking that a lot of that is going to be accurate unless they make changes. But here's what I think is interesting. So if Solo fails, which I don't think it's going to fail, but if it underperforms, let's just say if it underperforms, if it does $500 million worldwide, I think that's going to make Disney go freak out mode. I think they're going to freak the hell out if that happens. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. So, you know, I don't pay enough attention to Pablo Hidalgo to roast him. I mean, I know he's a complete troll on Twitter. He's very strange. I don't follow him on Twitter, but I know that he's I know he's part of the problem at Lucasfilm, but I don't know enough about him and what he's done. But I can do some research. I don't have a problem, you know, roasting him if he needs to be roasted. I just don't want to make stuff up right now. I don't know enough about the guy to actually roast him right now, though. Let's see. When and who's in the NBA Finals? I'm going to say who. I'm going to make this quick because I know everybody's going to be like, oh, he's talking sports. I got to go. We do have a sports channel, Sports Wars, so if you want to go check that out, you can find it in our recommended channels, Sports Wars. I made a video today. And so in the finals, I think it's going to be the Warriors, and I think it's probably going to be the Celtics, but I'll be pulling for the Rockets and the Cavs. All right, moving on, because everybody's going to freak out if I start talking a lot of sports. And sports is like my biggest passion, so if you're into sports, check out Sports Wars. I think we're right at 300 subscribers. We just started that channel, so I would love to get, we need to break the 1,000 subscriber threshold over there so we can start doing some more things with that channel. So please sub to Sports Wars. Okay, let's see. Rose Tico is the new pizza. Oh, that's funny. All right, let's see. What do I think about General Grievous? I love General Grievous. I think General Grievous is badass. He's especially great in the Clone Wars, but I enjoy him in the prequels. So I'm a big fan of Grievous. Love him. Think he's awesome. Let's see. Who's worse, Rian Johnson or Kathleen Kennedy? Kennedy, by far, because she has all the power. Like, Rian Johnson wouldn't even be directing a Star Wars movie if it wasn't for Kathleen Kennedy. So it's definitely Kathleen Kennedy. Let's see here. All right. So many. I'm trying to just... Yeah, I answered this one earlier, but I don't play Galaxy of Heroes. I hear it's really good. I'm not a big mobile gamer, but I would... Yeah, I'm not a big mobile gamer, but I'm not against checking it out, though. I think I have it downloaded on my phone. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, apparently many of you are asking me. So is Galaxy of Heroes worth it? Let me know. I would like to know. So, because I hear a lot of people asking me. No, you know, oh, so many. Did somebody say Rose versus... Who did they say? Did I like Rogue One? I liked Rogue One. I didn't love Rogue One, but I've warmed up to Rogue One a little bit since The Last Jedi. I thought Rogue One had all the great elements it needed. I didn't like the characters in Rogue One. I thought Jyn Erso was incredibly bland and boring. I thought Cassian was terrible. Terribly cast. All of it was boring. I thought Forrest Whitaker, who's a great actor, I thought he was so bad as Saw Gerrera. The characters were so bad. Now, I loved director Krennic because I'm a huge Ben Mendelsohn fan. So, loved Krennic. And obviously the Vader scene, everything that happened towards the end of the film, the final 45 minutes and the battle scenes were phenomenal. So I loved that. But I didn't like the main cast of characters, though. So, it's very frustrating. So, let's see. Mike Parlett, new sub, cardboard cutouts were better. Thank you for the super chat, Mike, and thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Welcome to the Geeks and Gamers community. I think you're going to enjoy yourself here. You guys guys and girls are just awesome. And in case you missed the announcement earlier, we are officially, I've brought Ivan Ortega onto the Geeks and Gamers YouTube team. So Ivan will be here on a weekly basis, along with Jesse Milestone. And we've got more people coming your way. I'll go ahead and give you a little inside baseball here. So I'm talking to SC Reviews also. And SC and I are trying to work it out where we can bring him onto the channel. So I'll have them, on different days of the week. And then obviously I'm still going to be here doing my thing. I'm not going anywhere. But I'm trying to just get a few more personalities on the channel that you're going to enjoy. And so hopefully you guys like that news. So let's see. And somebody asked about Anna, that Star Wars girl. And Anna's really new to YouTube. And so she and I definitely discussed bringing her on for an occasional spot, and she's still just trying to figure the whole YouTube thing out. But she does we have an open dialogue, and we are currently discussing that option. So yes, that is on the table. And there are more people that I'm having discussions with, but I'm not ready to attach any names to those discussions. But just thank you just to continue supporting Geeks and Gamers, supporting this channel, supporting the website, supporting the Patreon, everything under the Geeks and Gamers umbrella. Any support is appreciated, so thank you all for that. So, let's see. Who's worse, Jar Jar or Rose? Rose, by far. I mean, by far. Look, Jar Jar is annoying, okay? There's no doubt about it. I've told you this before. As much as I love the Clone Wars, Jar Jar is, like, there's, the episodes with Jar Jar in the Clone Wars are so bad, but Jar Jar doesn't fundamentally ruin the film. I said this earlier, but you've got Rose, like The Last Jedi, when it starts, yes, we have the whole Luke Skywalker thing where he throws a lightsaber, the Hux and the Poe jokes, but those things were things I could overlook. But the moment Rose enters the picture on The Last Jedi, it's where the film fundamentally starts breaking down. And then the entire Canto Bight garbage, and all of her save the animals, and the political messaging, and what she did with Finn, and how she ruined his heroic moment. Rose is easily, objectively, factually, the single worst character in the history of Star Wars, and it's not even close. So, anyway, all right, I had to get going on that one. So, let's see. Are you doing something special when you hit 100 subs and what? I don't even understand what you're asking me. What do I play Battlefront 2 on? I have it on Xbox One and PS4. I play more on my PS4, but I do have it for Xbox One. I'm going to have to rank up my character because some of my friends only have it on Xbox One. So I'm trying to rank up a little bit so I can get all the perks and the guns that I need. But yeah, I have it on both systems. If you guys want to add me on Xbox or PlayStation, I'm sure I'll get an onslaught, but you can add me. It's D-Day Cobra. That's D-D-A-Y-C-O-B-R-A. And you can add me on Xbox. I believe, okay, so on Xbox it's D space Day Space Cobra. And then on PlayStation, it's D hyphen Day Cobra. And so, yeah, if you guys want to add me, I'll add you when I can. I'm sure I'll have a ton. And then I posted my friend code for the Nintendo Switch a few weeks ago, and I got a slew of requests. And I don't have my friend code on me right now, or I would be welcome to post that with you here. So let's see. Jeremy, ever chat with Thor Skywalker? A live chat with you two would be cool. I've seen Thor Skywalker's YouTube channel. I've never interacted with him directly, but he seems like a cool guy. I like his YouTube channel, and so I would be totally open to having a chat with Thor Skywalker. So if you guys want to mention that to him, see what his thoughts are, I would be more than happy to. I want to give a shout out to the Scandrels Katina, because they have been trying to reach out to me for a while now, and I get so busy with so many things we have going on at Geeks and Gamers, and I just, but we're going to get together at some point. They've invited me onto their channel. I also want to give a shout out to my buddy Star Wars Theory. He and I have become extremely close over the past month, and great guy, and his channel is amazing, and he's been doing a lot to work with me and teach me some things about YouTube, and so just honored and humbled to have his support. So, all right, I saw we had a super chat. Okay, do you think Disney tried to cut the budget in The Last Jedi? It seems like some battle scenes were cut short, like they were trying to save money. And that's from Carrie Westham. I don't think they cut the budget. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone in the comments, but I do remember, I think Rian Johnson's original cut was like over 3 hours. And so they were probably trying to get that time down just so it can, because you don't want to put unless you're Christopher Nolan, you can't really put a 3-hour movie in theaters and expect everybody to go see it. Now, I know Star Wars transcends everything too, but Disney doesn't want to put a 3-hour film in theaters. They just don't want to do that. So I would assume that that's why, just to try to get that time down, because if I'm not mistaken, it was over a 3-hour cut was the original Rian Johnson cut. So my favorite Batman actor, hands down, is Christian Bale, because Christian Bale is my favorite actor. Like, Christian Bale and Denzel Washington are my two favorite actors of all time. So Bale. I know that there's the criticisms of Bale and his voice, but for me it's Bale, and I love Michael Keaton. I didn't love Ben Affleck's Batman, but I love Ben Affleck as an actor. So, but yeah, Keaton's great. Batman 89 still holds up to this day. So if you haven't seen Batman 89 in a long time, I recommend you go watch that, because it is still so good. The next Mario Kart live stream, that still might happen tonight. It was supposed to be happening right now, but many of my team members, they're really busy on Mondays because of Monday Night Raw. We may cancel it for the night, and we may just do it tomorrow and start doing Mario Kart on Tuesdays. I wanted to do it on Mondays to have the Mario Kart Mondays kind of slang or slogan, but it's just going to work better for us logistically if we start doing this on Tuesdays or another day. So I'm still working it out. And there's a lot of things that Geeks and Gamers are trying to work out. If you've recently joined our Patreon page, we are currently restructuring all of our Patreon tiers. I have we're just revamping everything, because as this YouTube channel has grown, it's allowed us to try to take some of that revenue, and we bought a dedicated server for the website. We are currently trying to do a lot of new things on the website. We're trying to create some community hubs on the website. We're introducing new merchandise. There's a lot of moving parts right now. So a lot of people think Geeks and Gamers is just me on a YouTube channel, and that's not the case. I have people in the UK. I have people in New York. I have people in LA. We have people all over the place that help work on Geeks and Gamers. It's a massive organization we have. And no, none of us are making profits from this. Not even me. I don't take any profits from this at this point. It's just trying to go back into the website, back into the brand, and so that's the whole point of what we're doing here. So, sorry to get off on a tangent there. A lot of people have asked me some of the details of Geeks and Gamers. How many people I have? I have over 25, and so in different various places. People that work on the website, people that write for the site, manage our social media groups, manage Patreon. We have a podcast network. We have a Twitch team. So, I mean, we just have people everywhere. So it's a massive thing we have going on. So, all right, let's see. Let me get back in here. Do you find it insulting that Kira will be a playable Battlefront character before Obi-Wan? Yes, I do. And I'll say this. It's even more insulting that we haven't gotten Ahsoka. Like, I don't you know what it is with Ahsoka? And this is a theory of mine, and I think I just got another super chat. New York Yanks, 2003040506. I'm going to get back to you, New York Yanks. But here's my theory on Ahsoka, okay? Ahsoka. What does Disney want to push? They want to push female characters, right? Okay, and again, this is just my theory. They want to push these female characters, okay? You have a female character that a huge majority of the fan base loves and adores with Ahsoka. Yet, I don't see her toys on the shelves. Every time her toys do come in, they fly off the shelf. But I don't see them really making a push for Ahsoka. Why? To me, in my opinion, it's because Dave Filoni will not allow Kathleen Kennedy to get her grubby little SJW paws on Ahsoka because he's very protective of this character. And in my opinion, Disney can't push the narrative they want with her to surround her with all of the pro-female and all this pro-feminism and SJW stuff. So they just don't push her. Does it not seem weird that you don't see a lot from Ahsoka? Like, we don't see her marketed much. We don't see her toys in stores. I don't understand it. And I think a lot of that has to do with Filoni just is very protective of her. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know. Okay, let me go back to this. Okay. What do I most hope to see at this year's E3? Okay, great question. I want more now, I'm a Nintendo guy first and foremost. I do love I love my PS4, I love my Xbox One, I love all of my systems, but I'm a Nintendo guy first and foremost. And really what I'm most focused on for the rest of the year, because we've already gotten my second, I had two anticipated games this year that really had my attention. God of War, which we've already gotten, and I'm loving it. I'm only about 5 or 6 hours into God of War, and I'm loving God of War. I need more info on Smash. That's what I need, more info on Smash, and that's what I'm going to be focused on the most now. We all know how Nintendo doesn't, they do their own thing at E3, and so, but I'm assuming they're going to do the Nintendo Treehouse. And so I'm extremely excited for that. And then I'm still looking forward to any of the newer titles that are going to be announced. I don't know if we're going to get anything from the Respawn Star Wars game. I'm a huge fan of Titanfall. So the fact that Respawn is working on a Star Wars title is very exciting to me. So I hope we get a few more details about that. That would be great. Okay, so good question. Thank you. I'm all about gaming questions. We want to get more gaming content here at Geeks and Gamers. I know it's Star Wars heavy, and that's not a bad thing because, I mean, Star Wars needs to be talked about. We need to expose the garbage that has become Star Wars recently. But I want more gaming discussions, more DC, Marvel discussions, all of those things. Okay, I got to take another swig of water, and let's see if I can read some of these comments. All right, let's see. Jeremy, hi, big fan. I know I keep spamming, but please do a reaction to the Kenobi fan video by HFP. I just lost it. Beautifully summarizes his life and includes Clone Wars content. It's gorgeous. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that tonight, and I'll upload it to the channel tomorrow. Thank you for giving me the heads up about that, because I don't think I've heard about that. How long has it been out? If it's been out a while, I might have seen it, but I'll check that out. I'll do a reaction for the channel. I'll upload it tomorrow, so hit that bell, do whatever it is, YouTube tells you to do, and thank you for that. Favorite action figure I own is my 1980, it's either 1984, it's a 1984 Cobra Commander 3 3/4 from G.I. Joe. I have the hooded one and I have the masked Cobra Commander. I don't have them in this room, I have them in another room, but I was a G.I. Joe guy growing up. And Cobra Commander. I love Cobra Commander. I love Snake Eyes. I have a couple of Storm Shadow figures and a couple of Snake Eyes figures, but the brace-faced Cobra Commander is my favorite because I love G.I. Joe the movie, the animated film, not the live action, but the animated film, and that was the Cobra Commander that was featured in that movie. So yeah, absolutely, hands down, my favorite figure. I love it so much. So, all right, let's see here. Man, so many comments. So, let's see. Yeah, was the hooded one a mail away? I didn't realize that. I mean, I was 6, I think, when the hooded come up. Or was I 5? Something like that. I was very young when the hooded Cobra Commander actually released. So by the time I started really collecting GI Joes, I was like 10 or 11, and so I didn't know how the release went. So that's actually good information. I did not know that. All right, let's see what we got here. Live stream with Star Wars Theory. It's possibility. Star Wars Theory and I talk all the time now. And so, yeah, I'm sure we could work something out like that. I mean, he's a busy guy. I'm a busy guy. But, yeah, I'm sure we could work something out like that in the future. Star Wars Theory has challenged me to, he wants this channel to hit 100,000 subs by the end of the year. And so I'm going to need a lot of help with that. I mean, we're doing great. We're at, what, 30-something thousand, 31, 32 right now. So, but he has challenged me. He said, I want to see your channel at 100,000 subs by the end of the year. And I'm glad that he's challenging me because I definitely want to see that happen. So, you know, just continue to spread the word, share our videos, let everybody know about it. And I'm sure we can make that happen. So, let's see. Hoping by 100 grand by the end of the summer. I like the way you think, Robert. I like the way you think. Anakin versus Rey. Look, if you're going to say anybody versus Rey, it's Rey. Rey can beat Superman at this point. Rey can beat anybody at this point. She doesn't need any training. She doesn't need to learn how to do anything. All she needs to do is she can pick up the weapon of her choice, and she's going to be she's going to have advancement and training in any field. She's going to know how to do everything. So Rey wins against everybody. That's the Kathleen Kennedy logic. So, let's see. Armand Veer Parma. I'll help reach 100K by subbing. Thank you. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. My comments keep moving every time I try to read these things. So, that's one of the, that's one of the super chats actually pretty cool. It does help you kind of manage these things. Let's see. Sadly, he's spot on. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's yeah, Rey could just do, she could do anything she wants at this point. And again, I was someone that battled against the, I battled against the whole notion that she was a Mary Sue after The Force Awakens because I had faith in the storytellers. I had faith in the story group. I had faith in the producers. And truly, I mean, obviously that was a huge mistake on my part. Very disappointing, but it is what it is. She is a Mary Sue at this point, and there's no, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. So, all right, let's see. Yes, Cobra Kai. Everybody's blowing me up about Cobra Kai. Everybody. I'm just getting bombarded. So I'm really, where can I watch Cobra Kai? Because I haven't had time. Is it on YouTube Red or is it on Netflix? Where can I watch it? And I want a legal site. I don't want any broken links or anything like that. So let me know where I can watch. So YouTube. Okay. All right, cool. So I'll definitely be looking into it. I know that everybody has just been hyping. I know SC Reviews did a review on it, and I didn't watch his review because I don't like hearing everybody's thoughts on something when I go into it. It's been a long time since I watched The Karate Kid, though. A long time. Like, I'm really rusty. So, do I need to watch The Karate Kid before I watch this again? Because I'm saying it's been a long, long time. And I love The Karate Kid, but it's been a long time. So, what we got here? Karate Kid versus Rey. Okay, again, I've seen The Karate Kid. It's just been a long time. Okay, I got a super chat. Let me see. Jonathan Doberens. I think that's how I think I said it okay, and I apologize if I didn't say it. But have I ever played KOTOR, and do you think Disney will ever come out with a movie or a TV show set in the Old Republic? I'm currently playing through Knights of the Old Republic. I have it. I have Knights of the Old Republic. I have the Old Republic. I have them all. I've never, like, with me, like I said, I'm in my late 30s, and so once you have kids and stuff like that, it interrupts a lot of your gaming time, especially when you're trying to run a business like I have, and so many people around the country, whatever. When I play video games these days, and for the past several years, when I play video games, it needs to be video games like Rocket League, or a first-person shooter, or Mario Kart, or Splatoon, something I can just kind of focus in on. So Knights of the Old Republic, I never really got into them until after the fact, but it was so buggy on the Xbox 360 that it just turned me off. But with the upscale for the Xbox One and the Xbox One X, which I don't have a One X, but I do have an Xbox One. So the upscale, it actually smooths KOTOR out a lot. So I have been playing through it, and I effing love it. It's so damn good. And I'm probably going to bring you guys a review when I'm done with it. That's going to take me a while because I have to play in small spurts. I do generally stay up very late at night just because that's when my notifications on my phone calm down and I can actually focus in and watch a show or play a game. But yes, I'm loving Knights of the Old Republic. Love it. Do I think Disney's ever going to do a live action Old Republic? I don't know. I really don't. As long as Kathleen Kennedy's in charge, no, I don't. I really don't. I don't even know if Kathleen Kennedy knows what the Old Republic is. And just like with when Lawrence Kasdan and J.J. Abrams, when they were at Comic-Con and people were asking them about Darth Plagueis, I don't think they knew who Darth Plagueis was. Eesh. That's where we're at with Star Wars, though. All right, did I get another super chat? Elvis Presley. I'm going to say it. I hope my daughter doesn't hear. Elvis is in the motherfucking building. That is so good. That's so good. Oh, man. All right, good stuff. That was awesome. I can't be cussing when my daughter's in the house, okay? I have to set a good example, y'all, okay? I mean, that whole video that I dropped 100 and something F-bombs or whatever that I deleted, and people are re-uploading it on YouTube now, so it's all over the place. And I was like, well, cool. I mean, people have been asking me about it. I don't know what channels it's on, but I guess you've made it when people start taking your removed videos and uploading them on other channels. I guess you've made it at that point. So, shout out, and I just saw him comment. I've got to go back. My boy, okay? My boy Thomas Gilkey. He is our top Patreon donator. He's been donating $100 a month for several months. Thomas supports Geeks and Gamers like nobody else, and I really want to highlight him, and I want everyone to just pay this man some respect. Thomas is a great guy, and he's a great dude. He's an inspiration to us all. Elvis said, Elvis says sorry to Jeremy's daughter. This is great. This is great. I have to do live streams more often. You guys are a blast. I'm having so much fun. When I start now, question: if I start live streaming when I'm just out and about going to random places, are you guys wanting to see that? Do you want to see me just live streaming when I'm traveling, when I'm going to random places, when I go to the beach this summer? Do you guys want me to live stream? Let me know. I'll do it. You just let me know. I'm seeing a lot of enthusiasm. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. I'm seeing a lot of hell yeses. I'm seeing a lot of exclamation points. Elvis has approved it with his super chat. So yeah, I'm definitely down. I want to live stream all over the place. After seeing Ethan do it, just going around Toys R Us, I mean, what I do, I go to a lot of retro gaming stores. I go to a lot of thrift malls and pawn shops. So if anybody's wondering what I'm like in my personal life, I'm a boring person, okay? I don't party. I've never had a drink of alcohol in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never done a drug. I am a boring person, okay? So I am an asshole, though. That's for sure. But the things I do is go to retro gaming stores and I go to thrift malls so I can find old school toys. That's the guy that you're all a fan of, a boring dude who doesn't do anything except for look for video games. So, all right, let's see here. David Stevens, thank you for the super chat, David. I appreciate that. Thoughts on the upcoming Star Wars movies and TV shows, possibly oversaturation? Can't be really excited anymore. Also, just added you on PlayStation. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so oversaturation is definitely a concern. But it's only a concern when you're not doing it right. Now, yeah, in theory, it would be nice if we only got one Star Wars movie every 3 years, because it creates that special moment, that event feel that we were getting, and we're not really getting that. But then you still look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've released what, 17, 18, 19 films since 2008? And so that could be considered oversaturation, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe is so well run and so the continuity is so good that you have these smaller films like your Ant-Man. You have your smaller films like your Thor 2 and Thor 3 was pretty big, but you know what I mean. We have the smaller tier films that are still really good. Then you have the event films. But right now, Star Wars, the sequel trilogy is so broken, the communication, the continuity is so broken that it does become oversaturation when it's not good. And that's the unfortunate side of things right now, is my enthusiasm is completely gone for Star Wars right now. And it sucks. I don't like being in that position. I really don't. All right, I got another super chat. Talif, yes, $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You guys are great. One of these days I'm going to do a live stream. I'm going to go 24 hours. I'm going to do a 24-hour live stream on this channel. I'll tell you what. Here's the deal I'm going to make with you guys. When we hit 50,000 subs, I will do a 24-hour live stream. I can't guarantee everything I'm going to say is going to make sense. I can't guarantee that I'm going to answer correctly. And I can't guarantee that I'm going to be nice all 24 hours. I will do a 24-hour live stream when we hit 50,000 subs. That's my deal right there. So, and I might sleep through half of it, but I'm going to try. And what I'll do for the 24-hour live stream when we hit 50,000 subs, I'm going to do the 24-hour live stream. I'm going to donate 25% of all of the super chat to a charity that I support down in Orlando. And it's a charity that Geeks and Gamers supports. It's called Give Kids the World. If you don't know about Give Kids the World, I highly recommend you look into it. Prepare to cry. Prepare to be emotionally destroyed when you see what's going on there. But it's an amazing charity. So when we do that live stream, 25% of the super chat will go to Give Kids the World. So you'll be supporting me and my lack of sleep, but you'll also be supporting terminally ill children that are able to experience things that they never would have experienced before. So, all right. JP Goach, I don't even know how this... I'm just going to have to show your name because I don't know how the hell to say that name. I don't know how to say that. And then Joaquin Cardenas, what do you think of what do you think of the new definition of being a Jedi? I mean, have we what exactly do you mean? Do you mean like Disney's this whole whatever Disney's trying to portray what a Jedi means now? I don't really quite understand it, but if you're meaning basically what it means to be a Jedi is if you wake up and your name is Rey and you fit the gender narrative, then they're going to give you the most powerful being in the galaxy, because that's kind of what it feels like right now. There's nothing special about being a Jedi anymore. It's so random. They're basically giving Force-sensitive abilities out to everybody. They're giving it to Holdo. They're giving it to Broom Kid. They're giving it to anybody and everybody they want. And I don't feel anything special about the Jedi, the Sith, the dark side, the light side. I don't feel any of that anymore as a Star Wars fan, and it's very disheartening. It used to be special. It used to mean something, and it's very disappointing. And I know I've said it 100 times that it's disappointing, but it is. It really is. So I hope I understood your question correctly. If not, you don't have to do another super chat to clarify. I will try my best to keep an eye on it. Jeremy does not love the Tennessee Volunteers, Elvis Presley. He does not. I am an Alabama fan. Roll mother effing Tide. So I don't love Tennessee, but I love your super chat. So I appreciate that. I saw Thomas commented again. Oh yes, we have the gender neutral Star Wars shirts. So the Force is gender neutral. I'll drop a link. Thomas, if you can drop a link, that would be great. Or if Lauren, if you're in these comments watching, I forgot to tip you off that I was going live, but if you could, that would be great. All right, my bad. All right, so, okay, pronounced tall if. How much joy would it be if Kathleen Kennedy got fired and whoever took her job wiped TFA, TLJ, and Soilo from canon? So I'm gonna say this. As someone that loved TFA upon release, I would be 100% behind wiping TFA and TLJ and Soilo off the planet right now. I really would, because it's broken. It's broken, and it has to go away. I know you guys are going to say something about Ahsoka not being here, so... yeah, so I would be in full support of that. Full support of it. All right, let's see. Look, you got, man, you guys were telling me about Ahsoka turning off the moment it happened. That's what I'm talking about. You guys are on point. I love it. All right, let's see. Ahsoka MIA. Yes, I like The Force Awakens before The Last Jedi. Did I miss a super chat? I need to go back. Just want to make sure. I do appreciate you guys doing that. And if Joaquin clarified, I want to make sure I didn't misinterpret. Okay, he said yes, so I did get it right. All right, thank you. I just wanted to make sure. And then let's see, Sterling Getter. What's my favorite parts of Revenge of the Sith? I love every part of Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith has not always been my second favorite Star Wars movie. My favorite, like, Empire is my favorite, then Revenge of the Sith. But even if you take Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, if you take TFA's dropped off of this list, Return of the Jedi, if you take all of them, they kind of always kind of just, they move and shake a lot. So I don't, like, it's kind of everything 2 through 5, basically, they all change. But Revenge of the Sith has consistently moved up the list for me. If I had to pick my single favorite moment in Revenge of the Sith, it's the March on the Jedi Temple. With the music playing, with the clone troopers behind him, with the theme. Powerful stuff, man. I love it so much. But I love the opening of Revenge of the Sith. I love it. I don't really have any negatives. Yes, Hayden Christensen isn't great, but he's so much better than he was in Episode 2. And the bar was set so low. So at that point, I mean, he had nowhere to go but up, and he was good enough in the film. But love Revenge of the Sith. Love it, love it. And Revenge of the Sith gets significantly better after you watch the Clone Wars. Significantly. And you need to watch some parts of Rebels to get more context. But yeah, it's just so good. Okay, let's see. Elvis, I'm not repeating that. It's a super chat, but come on, man. I got a kid here, so I gotta be easy. Oh man, you guys are awesome. Let's see. Yes, the score for Revenge of the Sith is absolute gold. Yes, I want more Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon as well, William McCall. McCall, I'm not sure how you say that. Let's see here. I love a Star Wars Shadows of the Empire movie. J Senator 06, and I think you gave me a super chat earlier. If not, I answered a question of yours. So either way, I appreciate the support. And so let's see, Ethan or Jeremy. Well, it depends. I mean, if you're talking about like just sarcasm, Ethan has me destroyed in the sarcasm department, and I think I'm pretty good with sarcasm, but I'm not on his level. Ethan's a Jedi Knight when it comes to he's a Jedi Master when it comes to being sarcastic. I'm not on his level. Let's see. I'm looking. Favorite parts of the prequels, or least favorite parts of the prequels. Okay, so as a prequel defender, The Phantom Menace is boring. It's really boring. I like parts of it. I like going to Naboo. I like the different interactions with the creatures. I like a lot of it, but it's super boring. But the worst part of the prequels, in my opinion, is Hayden Christensen in Episode 2. I think Episode 2 actually is a really good movie if you take him out of it, if you replace him with anybody else. He's so bad in that movie. The women and the children, it's really bad. The sand, all of it. Like, the dialogue is so bad, and his delivery is even worse. So that's my least favorite part. If you took Hayden Christensen and replaced him with Leonardo DiCaprio, who was rumored to be in that movie, I think it substantially changes the film. But that's just my thoughts on it. Let's see what you guys think. Let's see. Attack of the Memes. I like that. I should start doing meme reviews like PewDiePie does, but just do Star Wars meme reviews over and over again. Because I love PewDiePie's meme review show. But I should rip it off and just do Star Wars meme reviews. Because I'm in like all of these Star Wars meme groups on Facebook, and some of them are just, it'll put me in tears laughing at the memes. I'm a big fan of memes. Memes are everything. So, let's see. Dark Apprentice, thank you for the super chat. Rian Johnson does a KOTOR trilogy. Revan's in Revan's in a lesbian relationship with Bastila. she defeats Darth Malik before reaching the Jedi Enclave on Dantooine. Woo! You know, the sad thing is that's not far off from what would really happen. And that's the sad part about this. That's not even a joke. It's seriously not that far off. Man, unbelievable. Let's see here. All right. I'm crossing over the streams since I can't decide between. Is Ethan live right now? Tell Ethan I said hello. Tell Ethan I said what's up. And tell him I'm on the hunt for more Rose Tico figures. And so yeah, just let him know Jeremy said hey, and Rose Tico is always in our thoughts and prayers. David Stevens, thank you again for the super chat. Theory: the Mara casting in episode 9 possibly being the one that visited Luke before on the island. Also, maybe they are the one that made the map. Man, I don't know. The whole Mara Jade, or is Mara, because they didn't call her Mara Jade. But again, what I said when this news broke was either Lucasfilm is trolling us or they have no self-awareness. To use Mara after you've killed Luke, to use Mara as an actress that would fall within the age range that Mara Jade would be in theory if she existed in this universe, I don't know what they're thinking, man. I feel like they just want to troll the old school fans and the EU fans. I really do. And I'm not a big EU guy. Like, I mean, I'm not an EU encyclopedia. But the way they've treated the EU fan base, I mean, because that was canon for a long time for a lot of people. And the fact that they have no respect for that fan base and those people is it's unbelievable to me. So, yeah, it's a possibility, though. It's definitely a possibility. Let's see. Thomas, yes, I remember when Aaron made Rose Tico his name in Mario Kart. I was losing to Rose Tico for about 3.5 seconds on Mario Kart, and it was really disappointing. I had to reevaluate my life at that point. So, let's see. Rogue Squadron on the Switch would be awesome. Oh my gosh, that would be excellent. I love the Rogue Squadron. Many people have asked me what my favorite Star Wars video game is. I mean, again, when growing up, I didn't play as many Star Wars games as a lot of people would imagine. I played the Battlefront games. I have the Battlefront games. I didn't play them religiously like a lot of Star Wars fans did, because I was a big sports gamer growing up, and obviously a big Nintendo gamer. So my gaming time was centered around sports games, Mario Kart, Nintendo, things like that. The campaign games that I played, you know, like Resident Evil, Half-Life 2 is my favorite game of all time, outside of Mario Kart. But when I talk about my favorite Star Wars games, Revenge of the Sith, the 360 version, or I'm sorry, the Xbox version, I love Revenge of the Sith. I love it. It's so good. And I'm not saying it's the best. I love it. I love the gameplay aspect of it. I think it's fantastic, and it's probably one of the more underrated Star Wars games. I also love the original trilogy games on the Super Nintendo. Those games are insanely difficult. Insanely difficult. So, Sterling, let me make sure, before I get to you, Sterling, let me make sure I haven't missed any others. Okay. So, would I align, Sterling, how do I say your name? Is it Getter? I want to make sure I'm saying it right. But thank you for the super chat, Sterling. Would I align with the Jedi, Sith, or other? I mean, I kind of fall right in the middle. There's too many rules to be a Jedi, for my take, because I'm not a guy that kind of operates within parameters. I mean, I do like what the Jedi stand for in theory, but there's too many rules, and I'm not a rules kind of guy. And I don't want to be full Sith, so I want to be somewhere in the middle. I want to be more like a gray Jedi. And that's what I really love about where Ahsoka is currently, without giving spoilers, but she kind of falls right in line. She's not a Jedi, and she's clearly not a Sith. So she kind of falls right in the middle. She's almost like a gray Jedi at this point. So that's where I would have to put myself, and I know a lot of people fall into that middle of the road, and that's the best I can give you, because the Jedi just have way too many rules, and I would not last a day as a Jedi. I just wouldn't. So, let's see. Top Daddy, thank you for the super chat. Do you think it's possible that a second weekend of Deadpool can beat Solo opening weekend? I have my fingers crossed for Deadpool. Great channel. Thank you so much for the compliment. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the question. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Hang on. I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking. If Deadpool was a PG-13 movie, I think it would have a better chance. But because it's rated R, I don't see it having that mass appeal into the second week that it could have if it was a PG-13 movie. So I think because of that reason, it's going to hold it back from taking any bite out of Solo. I think Solo is going to do fairly well. I don't believe the 170 million box office predictions that they're throwing out there for tracking. I don't buy that for a minute. I live in Pensacola, Florida, and at my theater that I always go to, I've been tracking it. The 6 p.m. fan event it's maybe about 60 or 70% full right now for the IMAX showing. You go to the 9:30 on Thursday night, not that many people. You go to the Friday morning, nobody. You go to Friday midday, very few people. You go to Friday at 8 p.m., maybe 10, 12 seats have sold. I'm not seeing this. I've talked to some of my friends in California. They've looked at their theater, and it's not the typical Star Wars crowd. It's not the Marvel crowd. It's not the big event film that we're seeing. So I don't know where this tracking is coming from, and I feel like Disney is really working to try to spin this narrative. I could be wrong, but I'm just looking at the things that are right in front of me. And at my theater, at my current, at the, what do we have now? They changed over, so it's an AMC now. So at my current AMC, when a Star Wars movie or a big Marvel movie, when it goes on sale, boom. I mean, it's gone in less than an hour, sometimes 10 minutes, depending on the movie. So I'm just not buying the tracking. So do I think it could beat it? It's possible, but like I said, I think the rated R is going to hold it back. That's what I think. Okay, I know I just saw another super chat, so let's see. From Beskar Armor, do you think the Disney board wants to remove Kathleen Kennedy but are afraid of SJW backlash? Maybe like her SJW opinion? Absolutely, 100%. They're in a real bind right now because you can't play this whole I respect women card. I respect women. And then you fire a powerful woman because they're going to get backlash for that. And that's the hypocrisy of the social justice warriors. Remember on National or International Women's Day? Now again, I don't like Kathleen Kennedy, okay? But on International Women's Day, Kathleen Kennedy, a powerful woman, made a decision to hire Jon Favreau and announce it on International Women's Day. The SJWs got mad because a male was announced by a female. So they didn't even respect the fact that a woman was doing her job on International Women's Day. They were too busy being outraged because of the gender of the person she was willing to announce. These are the crazy people that Kathleen Kennedy has tried to pander to. So yes, if Disney does ultimately fire Kathleen Kennedy, the SJWs are going to go sit there and they're going to go, she had this movie that made $2 billion, and this movie that made $1 billion, and this movie that made $1.3 billion, and this movie made this, and they're all going to claim that Disney is a racist and a sexist and a bigoted organization. They've put themselves in a terrible, terrible box at this point. And so I do think that they've backed themselves in a corner, and they don't really, like, if this does go bad, and let's say Solo does ultimately underperform, yeah, they've got a real problem on their hands because they're going to be terrified to be called everything that they want to call everyone else. And that's pretty funny, actually. And I say that as a big Disney fan, but they put themselves in a bad situation. So let's see if I missed anything else. All right, so right now I do see David Stevens. I see your $2 super chat. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Something I was talking to someone about the other day is so Bob Iger, CEO of Disney. Now, I'm a Disney fan. I'm a longtime Disney fan, and I've done my research with the Walt Disney Company and some of the things that they've went through. So if you look at Bob Iger has done a great job as the CEO of Disney. I mean, if you look at the things that they've acquired under his watch, Marvel, Pixar, Star Wars, they're doing a lot of things in the theme parks now. They've opened theme parks overseas. Bob Iger has done a great job of expanding the brand of Disney. There's no denying that. You can criticize certain aspects of Iger's reign, and that's fine, but he's done a great job. But Iger is very aware that his legacy rides on Star Wars. It really does. And if you go back to Michael Eisner, when Michael Eisner was the CEO of Disney, Disney almost went under when Michael Eisner, I believe he just took over, when Michael Eisner was in charge. And then we had the Disney decade with all of the great new animation. I think at one point, if I'm not mistaken, it was Comcast. Comcast was almost ready to buy Disney out back during Eisner's reign. And Michael Eisner had to make something happen. Michael Eisner created the Disney decade. They expanded Walt Disney World. They did a lot with the animation studios, and ultimately he took Disney from a company that was going to go under to a company that became what it once was under Walt's reign. And then later on, towards the end of Michael Eisner's run, he made some bad decisions. He upset some key people within the organization, and he ultimately got ran out. So all of his good work, it ended very badly, and he ended on a bad note. Bob Iger has plans. I think Bob Iger wants to run for president. Bob Iger does not want to ruin his reputation at Disney, and Star Wars can ruin his reputation. If Star Wars fails, Bob Iger's it's going to hurt his legacy within Disney. All the great work he did will be erased if Star Wars ultimately fails and becomes just a generic franchise. So Iger's aware of that. I mean, and we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. So anyway, all right. Let's see. And then let me go to the super chat. David Stevens. Okay, so Rey versus Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah. Wow, that might be the one. I don't know. That might be Rey's ultimate matchup if she faced crazy Kathleen Kennedy. I think we found it. David Stevens has he's exposed it. I think we found out who can actually defeat Rey. That was good. That was good. And thank you for the compliment on the chat. So Jeter. Okay, so Sterling Jeter. Okay, like Derek Jeter. Got you. Also, have you heard the theory that Luke has Qui-Gon's crystal? It ties together. I haven't heard that theory, but I'll have to do some research on that. But I have not heard that one yet. Rey versus Superman. Look, Rey's already going to have kryptonite within probably her staff. She already has kryptonite. She's already prepared. Rey is basically the equivalent of Batman. But she doesn't even need prep time because they've already written the prep time into her character. So Rey can defeat Superman because she already has kryptonite. Even though we are in a galaxy far, far away, she will have kryptonite. So that's how it works. Let's see. All right. So, all right. Let me get back in here. Oh man, you guys are a trip. All right, let's see. Man, they're just coming in so hard. Let's see. Yeah, Ryan's reasons for Anakin expose him further. Now again, I'm not saying that's true, but Mike Zero reported it. I know Mike Zero. A lot of people have opinions on Mike. I don't know Mike. I've watched his channel for a long time, and the reason I followed up with that story is because it doesn't sound that far-fetched. It really doesn't. I mean, that's par for the course with Rian Johnson. So I looked at that and I said, you know, that sounds about right. Rian Johnson didn't want Anakin, Hayden Christensen in The Last Jedi because he didn't think that Luke would recognize Anakin at that age. And, I mean, do you watch Star Wars movies, Ryan? Anyway, unbelievable. Dragon Hatcher 12. You read Star Wars Legacy comics? I have not read that one. I haven't read any Star Wars comics, but I'm going to start reading more comics. I read a lot of comics when I was younger, like I said on the live stream. I read a lot of Image comics, Uncanny X-Men, Batman, Superman. My prized possession when I was a kid, I had the Wolverine 50 comic where it's got it's a yellow cover. And it's got the 3 slashes across the front, and I thought I was gonna get all the chicks because I'm like, yo, I've got the Wolverine cover with the claws. All the girls are gonna love me now, and it didn't work out that way. Let's see, Billy DeLion, thank you for the super chat, sir. I really appreciate that. Great channel, dude. Have you watched the new Cobra Kai series? If no, have you watched the new Cobra Kai series? If so, what do you think? I have not, but I have been emailed. I think I've gotten more emails on the Cobra Kai series and tweets than anything outside of Star Wars related stuff since this channel's taken off. So I'm definitely going to watch Cobra Kai just because the rave reviews from everyone, the enthusiasm, and how many people have recommended it to me. And so, and I know you guys remember this from before. I always said when the YouTube channel first started taking off, I read all the comments. I can't say that I read all the comments anymore, but I damn sure try. There's so many comments now, and there's not enough time in the day, but I try to read all the comments. I do read all of my emails still, and there's a lot that I've got to respond to. I read all of my tweets, mentions. It's just hard to respond, and I wish I could, but I just wanted you guys to know that I do my best, and the volume has increased so much substantially now. It's impossible for me to keep up with all of it, but I do my best to read as much as I can, and I really appreciate everything you guys have to say. All right, let's see. Zach Briggs, what's up, Zach? See you in my comments all the time, man. What would you do if Kathleen Kennedy's mug was sluggishly looking at you in the middle of the night and you woke up? Man, I would try to find the World Between Worlds episode for Rebels and try to create some kind of time lapse and just try to get out of this universe, because that would be the biggest horror movie. That would be the biggest horror movie moment of my life, to wake up to that. So, man, that would be awful. How dare you? How dare you take advantage of Super Chat to ask me that horrifying question? I'm just messing with you. I appreciate it, Zach. Let's see here. Should I'm not that Apu. I don't watch The Simpsons anymore. I did when I was young, but that whole nonsense going on with didn't the creator of The Simpsons address it and basically say we're living in a society where people are just offended to be offended? And the fact that I can't remember his name now, the guy who plays Apu, he's like I guess he's considering quitting over the whole controversy. It's just so stupid. We live in such a sensitive ass world now. Sorry, cussing, but my daughter didn't hear me. The door's shut, but I have to watch it. So yeah, it's just we live in such a sensitive culture right now. And it's so depressing that the mainstream media controls it, because people, generally speaking, are not that sensitive. They're not that caught up in these things. We are all just normal people. All of you that are watching this stream, we're just normal people. We're just normal people trying to live our lives and do the best we can for our families, work our jobs, have some fun, watch Netflix, play video games, and go to the movies. But unfortunately, the mainstream media controls the narrative, and Hollywood controls the narrative. And it seems like the world is going insane. But the reality of it is the country, the world, is made up of people like you and me. Normal people. People that don't see race and gender at every single walk of life. That we just see a normal, like, I see a person, if you come up to me and you're nice, then I'm nice to you. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what your background is. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what your religion is. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. And that's how most normal people are. But this is we're controlled by the mainstream, and that's why they can't stand the fact that YouTube has a platform for individual people to have a voice. So, all right, let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Clayton Firoti, I don't know how to say that, and I apologize if I'm butchering it, but The Force Awakens used to be my second favorite Star Wars movie. I don't know if I can revisit it after the Last Jedi. Depressing. I feel your pain, man. The Force Awakens was up there for me. It was never touching Empire, but it was always right there in those, top 3-4 Star Wars movies for me. And like I've said before, I haven't even watched it. I haven't even watched it since The Last Jedi. And when I walked out of The Force Awakens, the first thing I said, all right, I can't wait for Episode 8. I was so excited. And then I went and watched The Force Awakens 2 more times that opening weekend. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Again, hindsight, there are things I clearly didn't like, but I had faith in the filmmakers. Then, after The Last Jedi, walked out of the theater, and I said to my cousin Tommy, I'm like, I can't wait to watch The Force Awakens again. And he's like, I don't know how I feel about The Last Jedi, man. And I was like, I just can't wait to watch Force Awakens. At no point did I say I can't wait to go see Episode 9. I can't wait for Episode 9 because there's nothing to wait for. Everything was just ruined. And then, of course, I never went and saw The Force Awakens after that because the more and more I thought about The Last Jedi, the more I started getting depressed and I started realizing how bad this really is. And so, yeah, it's something else, man. So I feel your pain. I feel your pain big time, Clayton. All right, let's see here. I'll keep going if you guys want to keep going. So let me know. Let's see. Why do you taunt Uncle Ethan with those Rose Tico pops? You know, I knew I was gonna meet up with Ethan, and I was like, what can I get him? Because he bought every damn Rose, and I remembered I was like, I don't think he's ever had a Funko Pop Rose, and so I was in Target, and I found a Funko Rose, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this for him. And then I don't know, did you guys see his video review of the Funko? I had already destroyed it because on the live stream I kind of just slammed it on the ground, and so it was already destroyed. And then he threw it in the trash. That was pretty fantastic. So Elvis said Elvis goes all night long. That almost sounds like a Ric Flair quote. Let's see. Yeah, as Taupe Daddy? Is it Taupe Daddy? As soon as I saw Leia fly, I knew they jumped the shark. Yeah, man, that scene, I didn't know how to take that, man. I really didn't. I remember, like, I remember not being overly critical of it the first time, but understanding that it was really bad. But because it was Carrie Fisher and we've lost her, I just kind of just moved on past it because I was just like, man, I don't even know what just happened, but it was Carrie Fisher, so I'm just gonna roll with it. But yeah, it's an awful scene. It's a truly awful scene. So let's see. Yeah, I can't believe how many people are saying they can't revisit The Force Awakens. I can't believe it, and that makes me feel better about it because, I mean, like I said. And I've had so many people, like, so many people have just been like, you, Jeremy, you just, you changed your tune on The Last Jedi just so you could capitalize off the hate. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I had conversations with people after The Force Awakens. I watched it on a Thursday night. I've always followed the Rotten Tomatoes fan score just because I like to see what the reaction is. And it was already at like 71% after the midnight showing on Thursday. And I'm like, holy crap, man, people are hating this movie. And all of the defenders were like, no, nobody hates this movie. That's just a bunch of bots and trolls. And I'm like, no, that's not what it is. They're like, no, nobody hates this movie. I'm like, dude, people hate this movie. And then I started having more discussions with people when I was claiming that I still liked it. And people are like, dude, you don't like this movie. You need to. And I'm like, no. And I tried. I honestly was forcing myself to like the movie. I wanted to like it. Most anticipated film of the year, and I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It sucks. So, Sterling Jeter, thank you again. Let's see. Love the content. Please keep the channel going. What do you think about the story of Vader? Did you sympathize with him in Episode 3 at all? I mean, I love Vader. I mean, do I sympathize with Vader? In the first time I saw Revenge of the Sith, no. But as time has passed with Revenge of the Sith, I've gained such an appreciation for it. And I've said this many times, so I want to clarify it one more time before I say it. No film needs another piece of media to make it better. So I'm not making any excuses or anything like that. But the reality of it is that that the Clone Wars series does substantially improve the prequels for me. It makes them far better. And Anakin in the Clone Wars, he's the Anakin that we've always wanted to see. He's the Anakin we've always heard about. And it does substantially increase what we got out of Anakin. Now, you can watch Anakin in the Clone Wars and you can be like, man, can't really watch Hayden Christensen in Episode 2. And I get that. I totally do. But if you look beyond that, you really start to understand Anakin Skywalker's struggle a lot more. and you don't really get those elements in the prequels in isolation. Then you go back and watch Revenge of the Sith, and you definitely sympathize with him a lot more, a lot. And then there's a few elements in Rebels that open it up. So when we're talking about just isolated to Revenge of the Sith, no. But when you add the elements that flush out this character in this era much more, absolutely, 100%. So let's see. Let's see. People in the UK love The Last Jedi. They think George is still running the show. Man, you guys are on it every time Ahsoka's gone. I need to just fix my setting so the damn thing doesn't go off. So, Elvis, you gotta stop, man. YouTube keeps flagging your comments, and I'm not gonna approve. Let's see here. I'm from the UK, and I hate it. Yeah, I know a lot of people in the UK that hate it. We have someone that works for Geeks and Gamers in the UK, Caroline Precious, and she hates it. It's like she don't like The Last Jedi at all. So, but I'm not saying that that speaks for everyone. So, yeah. Let's see. Yes, I do know who Jordan Peterson is. I'm not going to get into full-fledged political stuff on here, but yes, I do know. Elvis flag, what the fuck? Don't be the man that holds me down. I'm from Canada. What is Star Wars? That's funny. All right, let's see here. What do I think Carrie Fisher would say about The Last Jedi? Okay, so I'm going to tread lightly here because I have a lot of respect for Carrie Fisher, as we all do, and I don't want to disrespect her by trying to put words into her mouth or anything like that because she is our princess and I respect her enormously. I do think Disney's probably I don't want to say they're thankful that she's not here because that's the wrong way to say it, but I think Disney was like, man, if Carrie was around, whew, not sure we could handle the PR nightmare because they've already had to dial Mark back, and Mark's playing ball with them. And Mark's dialed back his criticisms. You're not going to get Carrie Fisher to play ball with you. Carrie Fisher's going to tell you what she thinks. And, yeah, so that's what I think about that. So, let's see. Do I think Mark Hamill should have walked away from episode 8? Are you talking about, do I think he should have lived? 100%. And if you go to our channel, was it yesterday? Ivan Ortega did a recut of the end. Watch that and then tell me how you feel about that ending. Because if we would have gotten that ending from Ivan, I would have a lot of enthusiasm for the next Star Wars film. I would be excited. There would be hope. There would be anticipation. It doesn't eliminate all of the problems, but it would be cool. Hang on, I've got to plug my phone up because my phone's about to die. That's how long I've been live streaming. So let me plug my phone up and we will get back to it. All right. So there we go. I think we're good now. Let's see. Clayton, I can't believe some people are claiming Solo will have a 200 million opening. At times like this, it really feels shady. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. It's not going to hit 200 million. I'm not willing to say. Well, so here's the problem. I said this the other day. A lot of these sites are running with this whole business of it's tracking ahead of Rogue One. That's not true. Rogue One had a 3-day opening weekend, and Rogue One opened at what, 170, I think? 3-day weekend. Solo opens up on a 4-day weekend in the summer. Rogue One was in December. So they're comparing 4-day tracking to a 3-day actual, and it's just not the case. They're basically tracking evenly if you do the 4 days. And so, but even still, like I said, I said this on the live stream earlier, I looked at my local AMC, and it's not selling very well. What I would encourage you all to do, if you can go to your, if you have an AMC or a local theater, look at your app on your phone or on your computer, and look at if you have assigned seating, look at the layout of the seating charts and tell me what it looks like for the Thursday night and the Friday night, and then tweet me. Tweet me the pictures. I would like to see what they are. My local AMC is not doing very well, all things considered. So tweet me at ddaycobra. That's DDAYCOBRA, and I would like to see. So what do you guys? Just touch base with me on that, because I'll be interested to see. Everyone I've talked to in their local area, they're saying it's not selling very well. So will be interesting to see. Let's see. Yeah, I saw, and I'm going to approve that message. Yeah, I did see it, and so I saw that clip of Carrie Fisher saying she thought Rian Johnson was an asshole. It's hard to look at that because Carrie Fisher was super sarcastic at times. That clip could be taken out of context, and so without the further context of it, she could have literally been laughing 2 seconds later, and she still could have been serious for all I know. But I just, for me, again, just out of respect for her, I didn't want to run with that story and talk about it. I've seen that, though. And with Carrie, you never know. But I do know that she would be telling us exactly what she thinks at this point if she were still here. I know that for a fact. So, let's see. All right. Harry the Grey Jedi. Okay, why am I ignoring you? I'm not. These comments are coming in so fast. I promise I'm not ignoring. Every time I try to read the comments, the thing starts moving. So continue to ask. I don't care if you ask multiple times. I mean, obviously, if the super chat comes in, I'm going to give. They've paid to have the super chat, so I'm going to give them the preference because that's the right thing to do. So okay, Harry was kind of joking. Okay. Let's see. Well, at least I responded. So I'm not the ruthless, racist, sexist asshole that the internet would like you to believe I am. So let's see. So sorry for the spam. What would you do if you were in the bathroom and Kathleen Kennedy broke down the door with an axe and said, "Here's Kathy"? That would have been par for the course for what I expect out of her. Because she is crazy Kathleen Kennedy, so I would not be surprised in the least. So, yeah, that would be those terrifying moments of me growing up watching that movie and reliving it with crazy Kathleen Kennedy. Okay, let's see. Rey versus a Death Star. Oh, man, that's good. That's good. They're going to make Thrawn gay in 9. Good stuff. Yes, the how it should have ended Last Jedi was great. And I don't know if you guys saw my trailer my reaction to that, but it was absolutely great. 100%. Let's see. Hey, Jeremy, what's the max number of movies Disney can make to milk this series before it finally dies? You know, I mean, that's an interesting question because it's all about what I said earlier with Marvel and how somebody was mentioning, is it oversaturation that we're getting so many Star Wars movies? And if they're good, then there's not going to be an oversaturation. So with Marvel, yes, and I know Marvel has been accused of oversaturation, but the proof is in the pudding. It's a massive success on every single possible level. So with Disney and what they're doing with Star Wars, if they continue to give us crap and if it continues to divide the fan base, I'm telling you, it's not going to take long. I mean, okay, so let's look at the DCEU. Okay, the DCEU started coming off of the momentum of the Dark Knight trilogy. Batman Begins did what? 500 million worldwide, and that was coming off of Batman and Robin. So Nolan had a huge uphill battle. So 500 million worldwide, great reviews from the audience and the critics. Then we had The Dark Knight. We all know the Dark Knight greatness. If you look at the reviews from the fans and the critics, they are all-time high. Did over $1 billion. Then we had The Dark Knight Rises. Did more than The Dark Knight and had phenomenal fan and critic scores. Then you had the Arkham games playing off of the Nolan trilogy in terms of the momentum, not so much the continuity. And Batman was just at an all-time high. Then you had Man of Steel come out, which was separate from the Dark Knight trilogy. But a lot of momentum, and you're attaching Christopher Nolan's name to it as the producer, Zack Snyder as the director. The marketing campaign for Man of Steel, those trailers are still some of the best trailers I've ever seen. Huge opening weekend for Man of Steel, but then, okay, it starts dying off a little quicker than it should because the audience reaction isn't as strong as they were hoping. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what they were hoping. Then you know, after Man of Steel, then we get... Now, how did it go after that? So, Man of Steel... Did Batman v Superman come out and then Suicide Squad? I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm going to have to let you guys tell me really quick. Was Batman v Superman and then Suicide Squad, or was it Suicide Squad then Batman v Superman? I cannot remember. But either way, let's look at the fact that BVS came out, massive opening weekend. It should have done $1.5 billion, and it didn't. And you're putting Batman, who already had 2 solo movies that did over $1 billion by himself. You're putting Batman and Superman in a movie together, and it should have done juggernaut numbers. And it didn't, because the audience had already been turned off. Suicide Squad, the marketing was phenomenal. It looked like Guardians of the Galaxy for the DCEU. Suicide Squad it did really big numbers. I think, what did it do? 750 million worldwide. Then we get to Justice League. And people can say whatever they want. Bottom line is the general audience is what pushes these box office numbers. It's not me and it's not you. We have something to do with it, but the general audience and how they react, that's what pushes the majority of the revenue. Nobody went and saw Justice League. Nobody. And when I say nobody, clearly somebody did. I did, you did. But it only did, what, 650 million worldwide? Go back to the Dark Knight days and when Batman's doing $1 billion by himself. And then tell yourself that they're going to come out with a Justice League movie several years later after they've built the DCEU and it's going to fail. You would have never believed that. Well, that's what happened. So with Star Wars, if they continue on this path, Star Wars is a stronger brand than the DC films are. There's no doubt about that. But they're not untouchable. And eventually, if you continue to put this out, these garbage movies, and if you continue to shit on the fans, you're going to start losing revenue. So, hope that answers your question. I hope it wasn't too long-winded. I know I just saw another comment come in. So, let's see here. Oh, man, I missed a lot of comments. Jesus. And I don't care about your comment. So this guy says The Last Jedi is the greatest movie ever made. That's cool. That's your opinion. My problem is your screen name. Your screen name is lowercase x, uppercase x, underscore, Skylander D, underscore, uppercase x, lowercase x. Like, is that going to get you laid or something? Like all the X's? Like, you know, like, are you like, I bet you're one of these 1v1 me bro in a private lobby on Call of Duty, right? But anyway, I do appreciate the super chat. I had to pick on you about the X's. I don't mind. I have a lot of friends who have that as their gamer tag. I was just ribbing you a little bit. Okay, Joanne Brown, $5 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Disney needs to hire the guy who made Darth Maul Apprentice. That fan film is still better than episode 8, 7, and 8, and all the anthology films. You should react to it. Okay, so that's, so we got the Obi-Wan fan film trailer that I need to react to, and then we have this Darth Maul fan film that I need to react to, so I'm definitely going to check that out. Poor Elvis, your comments just continue to get flagged by YouTube. Let's see here. And yeah, thank you, Joanne. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, you're going to start getting a lot more live streams from me. I'm going to take you all over the place. We're going to be traveling. Just going to go everywhere. So I'm going to be relying on the super chat to at least, like, we're going to go all over the place. I'll drive everywhere. I love driving. So I appreciate all of you. And we'll have some fun. I'll just continue to do the Q&As. I'll bring somebody with me so they can monitor the comments, so they can just read the comments out to me so I'm not constantly chasing them. And someone from my team I can bring, and they can just pick out the good comments that aren't super chats, and they can have me read those too. And we'll just live stream the hell all the time. It's whatever for me. So it really comes down to you guys and all the enthusiasm in the comments. You're motivating me to want to keep doing this. So thank you all for that. Really appreciate this. Okay. Rey versus Gandalf. Again, Rey, the only person that can defeat Rey is Kathleen Kennedy right now. She's the only person Kathleen's going to look at it and go, okay, hold on. We can't write her to be this powerful. I'm Darth Kathleen. So there's no way she's going to defeat Kathleen Kennedy. Is there a how it should have ended Avengers Infinity War already? if there is, I'll have to check that out. So, let's see. I just approved one of your comments, Elvis, because they keep getting flagged. I just figured I'd throw you a bone because you've done so many super chats tonight. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so there is no Infinity War he-she. Okay, so false advertising not allowed in the comments, okay? This is a respectable YouTube comment section. I'm totally kidding. I love when people, like, a lot of people, like, they'll talk about the YouTube comment section. They're like, it's such a toxic place. Get off the internet, man. Like, what are you looking for? Like, okay, just get off the internet. YouTube comments, social media, it's not a place if you're sensitive and you're looking to just whine about everything, because you're going to get offended or hurt on the internet if that's your mentality. It's the internet. Man up or get out. All right, let's see. Will I do a collab with World Class Bullshitters? I'm a fan of World Class Bullshitters, and so yeah, I have nothing. I'm fine with that. I mean, really, like I said, what it comes down to is I stay incredibly busy all day long. From the moment I wake up to, and with everything I have going on with Geeks and Gamers, it's just it's a constant with me. And the only times I really get to relax is either when I'm traveling or when I am up at 2 o'clock in the morning and my phone kind of stops, going off constantly, because we have so many moving parts at Geeks and Gamers. But yeah, I'm game to collaborate with World Class, and I said, like earlier, the Scoundrels Cantina has reached out to me multiple times, and I agreed to collaborate with them several weeks ago, and so I definitely have to honor that first. But yeah, there's just there's so many opportunities out there. Collaboration with Mad Talk TV, they've reached out to me, and yeah, I'm down for that too. There's just so many. That's why what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring some of these creators over to this channel, and that's kind of the whole, that's kind of the collaboration aspect that I'm trying to build, to try to bring some of these creators over to this channel, and try to help grow their channels at the same time. I know that, like Jessie with Mindless Entertainment, she saw a nice surge in subscribers. Anna from That Star Wars Girl did. SC Reviews told me he got a really good wave of subs after he made an appearance on this channel, and I'm so happy to hear that type of stuff. Ivan has had an increase on subs. Happy to hear that. So yeah, good stuff. Let's see. Yes, Jessie is a firecracker. Absolutely. She and I have some. I mean, it's kind of like we've known each other for a while. We just talk on the phone, and she's cool, man. She's cool people. So. All right, Alex Becker. I love Alex Becker. Alex actually commented on a couple of my videos. I was shocked when I saw him comment on it. But yeah, I love Alex's Star Wars stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Remember, everyone, now Disney is pushing droid rights. Absolutely. How much of a joke is that? How much of a joke is that? Don't use Mike Zero as a source, Jeremy. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I know a lot of people, are down on Mike because I don't know where he gets his sources from, but I like him. The reason I ran with that story about Anakin's Force Ghost is because it seemed believable enough based on Rian Johnson's previous comments and his actions. And there's a way I could ask myself this. I could go, okay, there's no confirmed source for this story, so should I run with it? Well, has Rian Johnson showed any respect to me or any of the other fans of Star Wars? No, he hasn't. He's continued to call us names. He's continued to be disrespectful. He's continued to be just a little dickbag on social media. So why should I respect Rian Johnson and try to wait for a source on his story? I'm just going to make the video. And if it's not true, then whatever. Rian Johnson doesn't show any respect, and that's how I am. You show me respect, you'll get respect back. Rian Johnson shown no respect, so Rian Johnson gets no respect. Simple as that. Let's see. Rian Johnson or Michael Bay? Rian Johnson's worse by far. Okay, now, I don't like Michael Bay's Transformers movies. I do like the first one. But I love me some Armageddon, dude. I don't care what you say. I'll fight you over Armageddon, okay? Now, as a father to a daughter, it's got those elements. But I love the whole movie. Love it. So good. Ben Affleck, Bruce Willis, Liv Tyler, so good. So I love me some Armageddon, and The Rock with Ed Harris and Sean Connery and Nick Cage. Great movie. Rian Johnson will never make anything like The Rock or Armageddon. Let's see here. Yeah, see, Elvis, you didn't get flagged, and you were able to drop the I don't want to miss a thing from the great Aerosmith. So, I'm going to have to... my phone is... all my phones are going dead. How long have I been on this live stream? Almost 2 hours? Jeez. Let's see. Fire KTN. I'm not going to read everything you said, but... have I seen the Rey parody on a adult site? And I haven't. I'm not really into that type of entertainment in terms of the parody, but I do frequently visit those sites because I'm not a Whammon respecter like J.J. Abrams and all of the Hollywood types that want to make you believe that they don't watch that stuff. But I have not seen that particular one, no. Let's see. No, quiet man, The Rock does not suck. You take that back right now. You take that back or I'm signing a petition to have you removed from YouTube. That is blasphemy and disrespect. The Rock is a great movie. It's a damn great movie. All right, let's see. And I totally respect your opinion, quiet man. You're wrong, and it's okay to be wrong. But The Rock is an awesome movie. Ed Harris is so good. All right. Con Air is slightly better than Armageddon. I don't feel strongly enough to fight you on that because I love Con Air, but I prefer Armageddon. But I'm going to let you have that one, Elvis. I'm going to let you have that one for now. Horrid Films has watched the Rey parody, the porn parody. This is why, see, we have such an upstanding group in these comments right now. And I appreciate all of you that we are talking about the Rey porn parody. Let's see here. Feelings on Ocean's 8. I've never really watched any of the Ocean's movies, so I can't really give you an educated opinion on them. So my apologies on that. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of touched on this. Hey Jeremy, what's your opinion on breaking records in pre-sales solo a Star Wars story? I don't buy it at all. And like I said, I told everyone to kind of look at your local cinema theater and just kind of see what the layout is for any of the reserved seating theaters, because my local AMC, it's not selling like a normal tentpole film does. And I've heard from other people that have said the same thing in their local area, so I don't buy it at all. At all. Let's see here. Oh, my bad, quiet man. No. I've got to go back. Did you? Let's see. Oh, you did say The Rock rocks, unless you've edited that, but my bad, quiet man. My apologies. My apologies, sir. That's what happens when you try to read so many comments. So, my apologies. And you have a Cobra symbol, which I'm a big G.I. Joe fan, so now you have all of my respect. So even if you were to say The Rock sucks, you have a Cobra symbol, and so that trumps your comment about The Rock. So my apologies on that. All right. Let's see here. What's my favorite or best favorite? What's my favorite Dwayne Johnson movie so far? That's a really good question. I mean, The Rock's made a lot of good movies. Probably, this one's I'm gonna be interested to see what the reaction is here. There's two movies, okay? One of them is The Rundown with Sean William Scott. I love The Rundown. That was way back in the day when The Rock was first getting into acting, right after The Scorpion King. The other one is The Fast Five. I love the Fast and Furious movies. I know they're stupid. I know they make no sense. I know that it's just kind of stupidity at this point. But The Fast Five was damn good. And The Rock was awesome in that movie. So, yes, The Rundown is awesome. Yes. Let's see. I've not read Frank Miller's Batman. I have watched the animated films on it, though, and it is fantastic. So I have read bits and pieces of it. So have I ever checked out James Arnold Taylor's YouTube channel? Yes, I know who he is. Go see his Clone Wars conversation. I haven't seen. I've heard about those, but I haven't seen them. Is that gonna be Mountain Man or Mount Man 318? Thank you for the super chat. But I haven't seen his. I've seen his YouTube channel. I haven't seen the specific videos you're talking about, but I would be very, very interested to see that. Let's see. There's my boys at White Shore Films. Fast and Furious series is greatness, even if it's dumb. At least they don't throw any political nonsense in them. Yes, exactly. That's my boy Josiah. Josiah with White Shore Films. Let's see. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the Fast and Furious is a Point Break ripoff. But I mean, at this point, what isn't a ripoff in Hollywood? So, I mean, it did a great job, and I enjoyed it. And so, for that reason, I'm good with it. So, you know, I didn't like Jumanji as much as most people did, and I'm talking about the new one. And I'm not saying it's bad. I just didn't like it as much as a lot of people really loved that movie. And it was fine. I don't know. Maybe I need to watch it again, but it didn't click with me the first time. But I love the original Jumanji. So... Jeremy, do you think they would have done the new trilogy differently if they knew Carrie Fisher was going to pass away? Not necessarily, because I don't think that they had a real plan for any of the big three. I mean, yeah, Han was somewhat there in episode 7, but the story wasn't built around him. Luke was there in episode 8, but he wasn't Luke, he was Jake. And we all kind of thought that we were going to get a lot from Carrie in this movie, and they just, you know, they did the whole Superman Leia deal, and then she just disappears for the majority of the film. And then, obviously, we don't know what the plan would have been in episode 9. A lot of people assumed that was going to be she was going to be the focus in that. But in reality, none of the big three have been the focus in these movies. And we've learned that from looking at Michael Arndt's early scripts and his screenwriting, where they were trying their best, because every time Luke Skywalker would enter the equation, he would take all the attention away from the new character that they're trying to push. And so there you go. I mean, and so they rewrote the whole story just because Luke Skywalker was upstaging all the new characters that they were trying to force us to like and care about. And that's just stupid. So, let's see. Zell Batista, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment. Let's see. Would I go on Jedi Council? You know, I don't know. I used to love Jedi Council. I loved it when it was Campia, and it was Harloff, and it was Ellis, and it was before the dark times of The Last Jedi. But now, with the way they reacted, especially Mark Ellis, and how he kind of like lashed out at the fans for having theories and basically taking shots at the fans for having theories after The Last Jedi that were unhappy, when it was like, dude, you did like hundreds of videos theorizing about Snoke and The Last Jedi prior to the film coming out. Really, the only person I really like on Jedi Council is Christian Harloff. Roka just drives me crazy. Roka can't talk about anything without bringing race and gender into it. And so really Harloff's the only guy I like. I met Christian Harloff at Star Wars Celebration in Orlando last year, and I would love to sit down with Harloff. I don't know if I would want to go on Jedi Council. I can honestly say right now, if they offered for me to come on Jedi Council, I don't think it's beneficial for me to go on Jedi Council at all. I think that a lot of people would view that as me giving credibility to what they perceive as Disney shills. I'm not saying that they are, because I like Harloff so much. But the rest of the panel on that Jedi Council show, and it kind of changes week to week, but I don't want to be associated with them, because they're more worried about the victim mentality than just having a conversation. Hey, why didn't you like The Last Jedi? oh no, oh you can't attack me, and they whine about people attacking them, and they're playing the whole victim card about the internet and people are being mean on the internet. Get off the fucking internet if you can't take people being mean to you on the fucking internet. I don't know what you're looking for. Boo fucking who. Alright, sorry, I'm cussing too much. But anyway. Yeah, and Freddie Prinze Jr., I mean, he's a Collider guy. I mean, I know he's not a Collider guy per se, but he comes on that channel, and we all saw what Freddie Prinze Jr. was saying. Oh, God, I know. Ahsoka's gone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's coming back. So let's see. I know, but it is 9:44. My daughter is actually in bed now. She goes to bed at 9:30, so I'm in the clear. So, everybody's like, Ahsoka. Let's see. NorCal, I identify as an X-Wing. Oh, good stuff. I want to make sure I didn't miss any super chats, did I? When I was yapping? No, I didn't. Okay. All right. It is 9:44. The NBA playoffs are on. I do want to go watch Game 4 of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors. I want to see LeBron James. Can somebody give me an update on the score, by the way? Is anybody watching the NBA playoffs? I know most of you hate sports. I get it. Can somebody just give me an update? What quarter is it in? And what's going on? So, Elvis, I know you're lying. So, if you're a sports fan, subscribe to Sports Wars. You can find it on our recommended channels list on this YouTube channel. That's our sports channel. That's how I avoid talking about sports to all of you because I know how much you hate it. Every time I bring sports up, you crucify me. So, let's see. Cavs are up 20. Seriously? Cavs are up 27 fourth quarter. Are you kidding me right now? Wow. Okay, well, let's move on from sports so you all don't crush me. And let's jump back in. I'm going to go maybe, what do we got? Let's see. Let's go for another 10 minutes. So if you want to go another 10 minutes, and then you guys know, if you start throwing super chats at me, hell, I won't ever get off of here. So let's see what we got. Yes, I do. We do have videos on Sports Wars. We've got about seven or eight videos on Sports Wars. So if you go check it out, you'll see my most recent video is about LeBron James. Let's see. All right, man, y'all are coming hard with the comments now. All right, thanks for the updates on the score. I got it now. So Cavs are destroying them. So that's not expected. I mean, that's expected. What about next celebration? So, I mean, I don't know if I'm curious at what Disney's going to do. Kathleen Kennedy's been in hiding ever since The Last Jedi. She used to be out front doing all these interviews, all of these appearances, and now she's nowhere to be found. She's just will not show her face. So with a celebration next year, which they haven't announced, I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to be the whole fan-friendly event that they tried back in for The Force Awakens, and then they did the one prior to The Last Jedi last year in Orlando. They're going to be very guarded, I think, because they know the backlash is bad. And it's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. So, all right. I sexually identify as a weaponized battle toaster. Mr. Ortorois? Is that how I say it? So he says, I sexually identify as a weaponized toaster. You are so brave. You are so brave for enduring what it takes to be a weaponized battle toaster, and you have all my respect. Hopefully you'll win an Inspiration Award at next year's ESPN ESPYs. You have all my respect, Mr. Battle Toaster. All right, let's see. Zel Batista, how do you feel about the Episode 9 story leaks, and would you boycott if they recast Leia? So, I talked about the leaks on the channel. I made a video about that. And I don't want to get into the details of the leaks because some people may not want to know about them. Because the person that leaked the information did leak Episode 8 information, and they were pretty spot on with a lot of that info. So this could be true. And I hate it. I think it's terrible. I mean, it is really bad what the leaks were. And at this point, again, you guys know how I feel about boycott, at least the terminology, and getting on a soapbox. I don't really like doing that. I have announced that I'm not going to see Solo in theaters because I'm so frustrated with Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm. As far as Episode 9 goes, at this point right now, if Episode 9 was to release in 2 months, I would be announcing I'm not going to see Episode 9. Clearly, there's a lot of time that a lot can change leading into Episode 9. If they recast Leia, I would need to know the details. Is Dave Filoni in charge of Lucasfilm? Did they get, authorization from Carrie Fisher's estate and her family? What's the details? Is this going to be a full role that they're going to create? Do they need it just for 1 or 2 specific scenes for Kylo? I would need the details of it. But as of right now, if Episode 9 was coming out in a couple of months, I would not be going to see it because that's where I'm at with Star Wars right now. That's how frustrated I am. So, all right. Do we have hookers in the chat? Oh, you're gone. You're done. I'm fixing to destroy you. You are going to... Hang on, let's see. I am going to not only report you, you disgusting, sorry human being. I'm going to report you, and I'm going to ban your sorry ass. Burn in hell, you son of a bitch. Okay, let's get back to it. All right. She's done now. She's done. She's done. Holy shit. I'm trying to kill her. How does she keep commenting? I've already banned this bitch. Let's see. So here's the thing about YouTube comments. It doesn't give me... Do you guys still see Mimi and her comments spamming? Do you guys still see it? Let's see. Alright, she's gone. She's dead. Alright, good. She's done. She's done. Let's see. Alright, cool. Alright, she's dead. You don't get to stay here when you do that. So, let's see. Hang on. I'm trying to approve these comments that are getting flagged. Alright, so it says Kathleen Kennedy is sending waves of sluts to you. R.I.P. hooker in the chat. Pay your respects or disrespect, I guess. Oh, man. This is so fun. The weaponized battle toaster killed her with pride. Boycott Mimi. Oh, man. You guys make the night. So good. Thomas says Frank and Marquise are cracking up. Tell Frank and Marquise I said what's up, Thomas. All right. Man, these comments are killing me right now. You guys are hilarious. The hooker went down faster than Jake Skywalker. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yes, Thomas, I'll call you as soon as I jump off here. My phone's still at only 13%, so... All right, let's get back on track and move away from the hooker. Oh, man. Do you think if they rebooted the Old Republic, they would change Revan's gender? Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying they would, but it's on the table. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's so scary about Disney. I hate to associate this with Disney because I truly believe it is Kathleen Kennedy, but the bottom line is it's Disney owns it and operates it, and they still oversee it. And it's unbelievable to me. So, all right, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Leave Revan alone, but that's the problem. Anybody that they see the fans have respect for, they're going to try to deconstruct them or break them down or change them. And so, yeah. Let's see. I identify as a Death Star. You are brave, Harry the Jedi. You are brave, and hopefully you will win an ESPY award just like Caitlyn Jenner. All right, so this is another couple of minutes, and then I'm gonna bounce because it's been 2 hours and 13 minutes. I really look forward to doing a lot more of these live streams, doing them when I'm on the go. Can't wait to do a lot of those, and Yeah, so does my wife watch my videos? No, my wife doesn't watch. She doesn't give a damn about these videos. All she cares about is who have you pissed off today, and, you know, do we need to increase security here at the house? But outside of that, I mean, she's supportive of what I do, but she's not really. She's my wife is a very she's very intelligent and determined woman who she got a pretty good job. And so she's a lot smarter than me. So let's see. Life ain't easy being a toaster, especially when you have an RPG coming out of your butt. Oh, man. I would go with Grey Jedi for now. I mean, it's really, I do fall in the middle of the Jedi and the Sith, but it's a good question, Grey Jedi or Light Sith, but I'm going to say Grey Jedi. I have never watched Battlestar Galactica, Jim. I've never watched it. I would love to, so I might. So let's see. I would rather have you as president of Lucasfilm than Kathleen Kennedy. Well, I'll tell you exactly what I would do if they announced me as president of Lucasfilm. My first order of business would to be stepped down and hand it to Dave Filoni. That's exactly what I would do, because Dave Filoni should be the president of Lucasfilm right now. Let's see. All right, couple more minutes. We're going to bounce. Again, I know I've said it many times, but I thank you all for making this chat so entertaining. Just follow me on Twitter at DDAYCOBRA. That's the best way to communicate with me. And just kind of keep updated with what we have going on. And I really just thank you all so much. Zell, Batista, thank you. I'm trying to address people, but every time I'll see a comment, then it moves and I'll read something else. And I have ADD, so I can't keep up that good. Let's see. Captain Marvel opinions. I'm a little worried about Captain Marvel. I am. I'm fine with Brie Larson being Captain Marvel. I'm fine with what they've done with her in the comics to an extent. Some of it is SJW, there's no doubt about it. But I'm really worried about what they're going to do moving forward with Captain Marvel. So yeah, it's hard to say. I don't want to speculate too much. The MCU and Kevin Feige have done a good job of keeping the SJW undertones to a minimum. And so I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but the problem is I gave J.J. Abrams the benefit of the doubt. I gave Kathleen Kennedy the benefit of the doubt. I gave Rian Johnson the benefit of the doubt. And look where we are. But Kevin Feige's been doing this since 2008, and I think he's earned the right to have the benefit of the doubt. So we shall see. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Yes. ADHD, feeling 20 steps at a time. Yes, I totally agree. Jeremy, what if the new Star Wars movies are intentionally trying to destroy all the heroes from the most successful movie franchise of all time to negatively impact our culture? That's not that far-fetched. It's not. Okay. I'm gonna answer your question. This guy says, "Say my name once, man." I don't know how the hell to say your name. Ponker Fiddler or Ponker Fickle Dude. Ponker Fickle Dude? Okay, let me get back to the question. So yes, it's a valid question. Are they trying to take Star Wars and ruin these heroes to impact the culture in a negative way? It's not that far-fetched. I would have probably called you a conspiracy theorist if you said that back in 2012 or 2013, you know, after the purchase. But after I've seen what they've done, after I've heard from Lucasfilm, after I've heard from Kathleen Kennedy, after I've heard from, after I've seen what they've put on screen, and after you've heard their agenda-driven BS, yeah, I mean, it's not that far-fetched, to be honest with you. And it's pretty crazy that we are at this position. So, all right, you guys have a great night. This is going to happen much more often. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody in the super chat. Shout out to everybody who supports us on Patreon. If you can support us on Patreon, just $1 a month. We are restructuring our Patreon. All of the tiers are going to be far more beneficial. We're going to be giving prizes away. We definitely want to just make sure you feel that you are earning whatever you're putting into our Patreon account. The Patreon account is going to help us significantly because here on the YouTube channel, with the demonetization situations, the fact that I'm very outspoken, the fact that sometimes I drop too many F-bombs, and I'm learning. I like the video I put out about Star Wars Explained, the one I removed. I know a lot of people are like, why did he remove it? And I removed it because I got age restricted. That's the first time I've been age restricted on YouTube. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if that was going to put the channel in jeopardy or whatever. I later learned that it wouldn't, but seeing as he and I talked about everything and we came to an understanding, and the fact that that video was age restricted because I dropped about 50 F-bombs in it, I decided I need to remove the video because it could hurt my channel. But with all that, I don't like having to be censored in what I want to say. So by supporting us on Patreon, it helps, you know, because like I said, Geeks and Gamers is not just me. I have over 25 people that work on everything from Geeks and Gamers to the website, to the YouTube channel, to the Facebook groups, to social media, Twitch. We just purchased a dedicated server. So there's a lot of cost involved with Geeks and Gamers. We travel to conventions. We have a lot of different plans. So there's a lot of cost involved. If you don't have it, please don't do it. I mean, put food in your mouth for willing to give me $1 for Patreon. But I just want you to know that the money is going to go to a good place, and I'm very excited within the next few days to reveal a lot of the new Patreon goals. So I'll be back. Thank you all for just tuning in. It's been great. You've all made me laugh. All of the stuff about Mimi, the dead hooker that we had to destroy from the YouTube comments. And you guys have a great night, and we will talk to you later.